of them have really bad, serious health ailments, and a lot of people looking at around the world want to make sure that those people are taken care of in the future.
Well, what we have to do is to make sure that those who were exposed know what the potential symptoms are if they did suffer, because a lot of these things, the manifestations of an injury isn't right away, it's years or even decades down the road. So we have a health registry, we have a bunch of doctors on call, we track very carefully our firefighters because we have good health records for them before the event as well as afterwards, so we can see which people were more susceptible to lung disease, and we have 3 centers of excellence here in the city. I did meet yesterday with the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, to try to urge her to get more money from the federal government for the city because we couldn't possibly pay for all of the potential health problems in the next 30 years that could have come out of what happened 6 years ago. We did have a compensation fund for those who lost their lives back on 9/11. What we'd like to do is to get the federal government to have a compensation fund for those who are injured. But we also have to make sure that we have monies down the road. The federal government did set up a captive insurance company so that 20 years from now there is monies to take care of people. And I think that's one of the things that everybody sort of forgets. You don't know how many people are going to have problems based on what they did during the rescue and recovery operations right behind me.
Mr. Mayor, there's an article in the New York Times this morning that says that your mission is to help the city to let go of the grief from 6 years ago and to embrace optimism for the future. It's a delicate balance, isn't it?
It is a delicate balance. I wouldn't say to let go of the grief. I think you do have to remember those who lost relatives. We can't put ourselves in their positions. They're the ones that really grieve. The rest of us have to make sure that our children understand what took place here, what freedoms that we hold dear were so threatening to people around the world that they created this disaster and killed 3,000 people that day, and how we can make sure that that does not happen again. And I think those lessons are the ones we have to learn. And then we have to build for the future, because the 3,000 people that died on 9/11, they had siblings that they left behind. They had children they left behind. They had spouses and parents, and they would have wanted us to build a better life for them, and we shouldn't walk away from that. So there's nothing wrong and nothing inconsistent with grieving, but at the same time saying what we can do for the future, the best to remember those we lost, is to build a future.
Mr. Mayor, my last question to you is, you're a great visionary as a businessman before you became a mayor. Tell us the difference this year and last year is things are being rebuilt, things are being done. How's this going to look behind you a year from now?
Well, you'll start to see more of these buildings get above ground level. I think what the public forgets is that a lot of work went into getting us to where we are over the last 6 years. Remember, this is probably the most complex construction project ever done any place in the world. You have the federal government, the state government, city government, private sectors all involved. You're trying to do retail and residential and commercial and industrial all at the same time. You're trying to construct on a site where there's a subway system that goes right through it and where people have to continue to run their lives. We're in the middle of one of the busiest districts of New York City, and so it makes the logistics to bring in material and take out what you're digging up from the ground harder to do. And all of that is now coming together. And so yesterday I took a walk down into the pit to make sure we were ready for people who will be able to walk down today. And it's just amazing that every little piece, every space you see new cement, new steel going in. It's all interrelated and it's coming together.
All right. Mayor Michael Bloomberg joining us today on this 9/11 from Ground Zero. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.